Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Kitzbühel 2026. The downhill race is scheduled to begin in just 12 minutes. I've got the video stream over here. I've got the live timing up on the screen here, and we will start to get into that in just a minute. Real quick, looking back at last year, two Canadians on the podium last year, James Crawford and Cameron Alexander, and they sandwiched around the second place finish of Alexis Monet. Monet is interesting this week. He had a bit of a crazy jump yesterday in the Super G, which we covered live just like this, and he ended up talking to the race directors and saying, you know what, there's this one jump where the radius is just too much, and we saw 3 or 4 DNFs in a row later on in the Super G yesterday. It was getting a little hairy. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. There were no bad crashes. A couple guys went down. But they have changed the downhill jump. One of the jumps, if we look at the actual race course here, this is the top. This is the start of the downhill race. It's in 1,665 meters above sea level. It ends down here. I got the German map up here from the actual Kitzbühel race people. Ends in 805 meters. So you've got 860 meters of vertical difference, which is just over half a mile. 800 meters, half a mile, 2 laps around the track. So the first thing that we'll see in this race, one of the most exciting, is the Mausefalle, the mousetrap, and they come out of the start house, come down, make a hard right, hard left, and then it's literally, I think they said 75%. It's nearly vertical. Straight down that, speeds already at 120 to 130 meters. We're seeing jumps. Part of the thing with Monet was that they said the jumps were too far. We had people going over that one jump, 45 meters, close to 150 feet, half a football field for soccer or American fans, about half a football field. Yeah, and then the carousel curve, as we look here, the Steilhang, which means the steep slope, the bridge, Schuss, the Schuss, which is a gliding part, and then they go down another steep bit called the Schneise, again over 120k, over 75 miles an hour before they hit the Seitelalmsprung. And I think that's the one where they were having the issues yesterday. I think that Marcus Waldner, I think his name was, said that they took about 1.5 degrees out of that jump, so the curve coming into the jump. All right, one guy who's missing, Cyprian Sarrazin. He won the double here 2 years ago. Let's see his race podiums. Where's Kitzbühel? 19th and 20th. Back-to-back days. Unbelievable feat. He had won the Super G a week before in Wengen, was second in the downhill, two downhill, so in 2024. Then last year he got hurt really badly, actually like a brain injury, and he's just started skiing again. The question of whether he'll ever come back, but he was just a balls to the wall kind of skier. Really, really fantastic to watch. But he will not be there. The start list, we've got 8 minutes to go here. Let's go and look through Mattia Cassé from Italy, first off down the hill. Let's see, yesterday, 6th in the Super G. Last week, 8th in the Super G. But the downhill a week ago in Wengen, only 28th. Let's see, then Giovanni Fransoni, number 2 already. He's one of the favorites. He's been dominating the practices. I think he came within about 6 or 7 tenths of the course record, which is like 150 point something. A lot of people are talking about that yesterday and today, whether or not that record will fall for the hahnenkamm downhill, the streif, as they call it in German. Yeah, 150.8 or something like that. So that's a number to watch today as we see these guys go down. He won the Super G last week. He was 12th yesterday, bit of an off day. And last week in Wengen, he was third in the downhill. 24-year-old kid. Stefan Rogentien will start third. A couple of good, solid Super G results, 8th and 7th. Downhill last week, only 14th. Niels Hintermann, 21st last week, 7th in Gröden, Val Gardena, back in December. Where's the... Get back to the start list here in just a second. Bear with me here. Yeah, this is actually, there's an article here about how they've taken that 1.5 degrees out of it. All right, Niels Hintermann, Stefan Babinski, third yesterday in the Super G, second in the Super G a week ago in Wengen, but only 33rd in the downhill last week. We're going to move up a little bit, and then really it starts here. Alexis Monet, who we were just talking about, who made that issue with the FIS Rennes race director. He'll be starting 10th. Dominique Paris, 8th yesterday in the Super G, 36 years old. We had a lot of the vets having incredible days yesterday. We'll get into that in just a second. Marco Odermatt won yesterday, won the downhill in Wengen a week ago. Always going to be the favorite. He's just always going to be the favorite. He's too good. He's leading the World Cup standing. He's in first here with 1,205 points, leading by close to 500 points. After him, Franjo van Almen, second yesterday, 3 100ths of a second. 3 measly 100ths of a second. I'm still working on the race feed live over here. VPN, the Austrians can be quite strict, and they get into that real quick and find out who's using VPN. They generally don't let you view their video streams outside of Austria. But yeah, what we have here is we do have the live timing, and again, this will start in just a few minutes here. Real quick, back to the start list. So Franjo van Almen, second and third in the Super G in the last week, 4th in the downhill last week, really in top form right now. Nils Allegre went in with start number 1 yesterday. Bib 1, ended up 14th, 10th last week in Wengen in the Super G, and 9th in the downhill. Vincent Kriechmeier, local hero, won a whole bunch of races in his career, some Olympic and World Championship medals, second in the downhill last week in Wengen, 7th in the Super G yesterday. Disappointing, and we will see what happens there. Again, having a hard time with the feed. We are 3 minutes away. 3 minutes away from racer number 1, Matteo Cassé. So yeah, gonna all right, just want to get up that feed going here. So bear with me just a second. 2.5 minutes until the first racer live. All right, just about good to go here. Okay, under 2 minutes to go. Matteo Cassé in the start house, ready to go. We're going to get back to the live timing here. You can see they've got 8 sectors today. Let's Let's try to zoom this out a little more. There we go. 8 sectors, a couple of speed traps. The sectors appear here, left to right as each guy goes down. We've got up here, you'll see the individual ones. You've got your stopwatch and your speedometer. So 7 time checks, 5 speed traps. We are just about ready to go here. You're going to see bib number 1, Matteo Casei, pop up on the upper screen here in just a second. Yeah, always exciting. For me, it's one of the biggest races of the year. I like Wengen. I like Gröden or Val Gardena. But for me, Kitzbühel, lived in Austria for over 15 years, in Spain now. Real quick to the channel, Travels with Tony. Anything that has to do with A to B, whether it's cycling, skiing, ferry boats, airplanes. I'm all about movement. That's what the channel's about. And here we go. Matteo Casei, bib number 1, in the start house, trying to get the video feed going. Austrians are being particularly tough today on what they're showing. Also, probably because there's so much demand for this. First racer to start, just a few seconds here. Yeah, 11:29 and change. Yeah, that Mausefall, the mousetrap, right after the start house is pretty incredible. Here we go. Matteo Casei on his way, has started. So the top will give you a vertical listing of all of the time checks as we go through them, and the bottom tells you who started. And there we go. The first time check is 14.97 and 100 kilometers an hour. So already at 62 miles an hour plus after just 15 seconds. You got Giovanni Franzoni, the heavy favorite, on deck. Matteo Casei through the second time check in 32:08 with a speed of 114, so ramping it up to almost 70, a little over 70 miles an hour there. 47.4 through time check 3, 105 kilometers an hour. I think the max speeds in the race today will approach 150 kilometers an hour, which is, I think, 92 miles per hour. Of course, all the differentials and ranks will be, differentials will all be 0 now for the first guy. And the rank will be 1. And we will get some sense of how well Casei did when Franzoni goes down in just 2 minutes. So, yeah, sorry guys, no luck on the video feed yet. Working it over here on the side. I'm going to try one other way here to try to get that. Yeah, and I get the little picture-in-picture. They're showing a whole bunch as 132, 143. He's got, through the last time check, 143 kilometers an hour for Casei. As he comes down to the finish, remember, 151, 152, 153.71. So that's going to fall. That does not have a chance. The weather conditions are incredible. It's been sunny. It's been okay. I'm going to do one more thing here, but yeah, 153.71 is just not going to cut it these days. I'm sorry. We saw training times of 151, low 151s. So yeah. And now Franzoni has started and he's half a second ahead. Look at that. 14.97 was Casei, 14.51 for Franzoni. You can see it right here. He's half a second up on after just 15 seconds. That really gives you a sense of just how slow Casei was going here. 13 hundredths added. So this is a differential. So he's that much faster in Sector 2 than Casei was. So it gives you that cumulative 59 hundredths, 113, about the same speed. Now he's sticking right around that half-second differential overall. He actually lost a little in Sector 3. You can see the 13 hundredths he gained. He lost again lost another 100. So Kasei did pretty well in sectors 3 and 4. Just had a really abysmal start. And Franzoni now big favorite for today. 7100s now. So yeah, so through sector 5, he took a quarter of a second again, and he's well on his way. So quarter of a second, we got to see his time now. He's up to a whole second. Yeah. Oh, okay. The course record is I don't think it's going to fall. I mean, if he's only a second better than Kasei at this point, 139, he's still only in the low 152s. 143.92, almost 144 kilometers an hour. And yeah, there he is. He's in 152.31. I know people are going to be a little disappointed about this because everybody was talking 150.5, 150.7. We're going to set a new record. But if Franzoni, who absolutely dominated the training, can't break 152, then I don't see how the record falls. The record is fairly old, and yeah, just beautiful day. But for whatever reason, maybe there's a little bit of wind, maybe there's something else going on. Not exactly sure. Still working the live video here. Rogantine has started 2100s back, so in between Franzoni and Kasei, through sector 1. We'll go up here. He's way off. Look at that, 102 only, 8K per hour off the pace of Franzoni going through that first speed trap. Also not going to cut it. So he's a little better through check 2. Now, what I'm seeing here is that both Rogantine and Kasei were a little better than Franzoni in either sector 2 or sector 3. You can see the plus numbers there, the minus numbers there. They were solid there. So Rogantine keeping it closer than Kasei did. Kasei just had a terrible run. Hard to be number 1, and he's really not 100% like top tier. But he's to be 1.7 behind. That's rough. Or 1.4 behind. That's rough. So Rogantine now through time check 5, speed trap 4 coming up here. We got to see 89, 4.5 kilometers behind. So he's losing. He's already a second behind. So this is where sector 5 is where Franzoni, you can see here, a quarter of a second over Kasei, a half a second over Rogantine. Rogantine losing time every which way. He's now down to 175 behind and into the finish. Here we go. 2 seconds behind. Even worse, he lost so much time. He was slower in every single speed trap. He was losing time after sector 3, after time check 3, just completely got away from him. So unfortunate there. Still working to get that video feed going. Yesterday worked great. Yesterday I had the Super G up here, and it was awesome. All right, they at least let me start seeing ads again. They'll always show you the ads, even if you're not in their country, but doesn't mean they're going to show you the race. So we'll see. I've got 7 seconds left on that ad. Niels Hintermann, number 4. He's on his way. And so far, not too bad. He had the fastest speed trap 2 at 115.66. So almost 2K. Oh, he's up. He is up on Franzoni. Niels Hintermann. Look at this. This could be a big surprise. Maybe Franzoni just didn't have the day he was hoping for. Hintermann lost a little bit in sector 4, just 400ths. But he's still up, 1600s up through speed check 4, sector 4. And then speed check 5 coming up any second here. It's just 16 seconds between those two. There he is. He's 5 hundredths behind now. So definitely right up there with Franzoni, but speed, he's up on the speed there. 2/10 now. Sector 6, he's down to 2/10 behind. Still a world of difference between him and Rogentin and Cassé. So looks like Hinterman will slot himself into second here. Yeah, a little slower now, 143, just a little bit under what Franzoni did, 7/10. So he lost, he went from being up 16 hundredths to being down 7100. He lost 87 hundredths of a second between sector 4 and the finish line. So that's pretty brutal. All right, I've got video feed and it is 15 seconds or so delayed. So when we get some replays now, I will be able to comment on the replays that I'm seeing over here. But Hinterman, number 4 in, Arnold Schwarzenegger, showing Arnold. Yeah, Arnold is there. Very white with the beard, full beard and white. Okay, Stefan Babinski on course. Almost 3/10 back at sector 1. Get to see him over the Mausefalle. The jump was 40 meters there. Sector 2, he was a little faster than Franzoni. You can see he's 28 hundredths behind, now only 27 hundredths behind. Fastest speed check 2, 116, and he's gaining. He's now only 3 100ths behind Franzoni. He's looking good. I can see him going through the Brückenschuss right now. So, but he's ahead of that, 3 100ths behind. He's now 2/10 back, 59.14 through time check 4, sector 4. 2/10 behind Franzoni. So at this point, he could be in between Franzoni and Hinterman for second. Next time check coming up here. I mean, he's looking good. See right here, he's looking pretty darn good. Oh, no, going through time check 5, sector 5, he lost 6/10 in that one sector. 65 hundredths, had the worst time through sector 5. And I'm trying to see what happened here. Yeah, actually, the weather is not as good as I thought. It is cloudy. Yesterday was brilliant sunshine. So Babinski now 115 down. He has completely, in German they say, Faden gerissen. He lost his thread. He lost his way here. He's definitely had a really tough time through sectors 5, 6, 7, and 8, all the way to the finish. And he ends up actually last. 1 100 slower than Rogentin even. So what started off as a great ride through sector 3, he was only 3 100ths back through sector 4, 2/10 back, and then after sector 4, just completely lost it. Florian Schieder is started, 14 seconds to the next time check for him, to the first time check for him. The images here showing Babinski over the jumps, really clean. Yesterday we saw a bunch of guys flailing with the skis and stuff. So yeah, all good there. Laurent Mekies. Laurent Mekies is the Formula One Red Bull team race director, the team director, and he is in attendance as well. Always a lot of celebrities here, and they're showing those on the feed pretty regularly. Florian Schieder from Italy, he was up 11 hundredths through time check 2. Look at this, up 19 hundredths. He's having a great run. He looks super clean. I can see the speed check there. He's now up 1/4 of a second. Look at this. Florian Schieder of Italy. Unexpected to say the least. He is in first after time check 4. And now we're heading to time check 5. We'll see. This is where a lot of the guys lost time, and he's lost 3/10. You can see it down here. He lost 3/10 in this last one after, constantly building a little advantage. He lost all of it in that one. He's now 500s back, a little off the speed pace there, 2K off the speed pace, and now he's lost another 3/10. Still could be good enough for second. ahead of Hintermann, 6/10. He's only got 1/10 left to give if he wants to get in here into this spot. 142K over the last speed trap, and he is in second or third. What's it going to be? The last 10 seconds down here, Florian Schieder. Second. Second by 4/100ths over Niels Hintermann. So Italian 1 and 2 right now. And I'm watching, he's coming through the finish line now, Schieder on the video feed. So yeah, super solid. And he's so tired. He almost fell once he went through the finish line. That's his craziness. Yeah, who's next? Mia Robot from Slovenia up next. Just gonna try to get one other thing going here. And he is started. Mia Robot is started. Heading through the first curve down towards the Mausefalle. And now I can actually see over here. Great to watch it. Again, all the weather reports are saying it's going to be beautiful and sunny. It's not. It's cloudy, and that definitely slows down the course a little bit. Robot 1900s back through sector 1. Hold on a second here. We got, oh, sector 2, really good. Fastest sector 2 for Mia Robot. And he is in the lead now through sector 3. His speed's a little slow, 2K back of Franzoni there. 2/100ths only off the pace through sector 4 time check. So we're definitely seeing a great run from Mia Robot. I mean, people really, they focus on this race all season. People love this race. The racers especially, they want to win. They want this one on their mantelpiece. Okay, again, where everybody's losing time to Franzoni, after time check or sector 4 into sector 5, he lost 3/10 right there. And this is where it's been going south for everyone. Nobody's even close to Franzoni once you get past sector 4. Sector 6 down, he lost another 3/10. You can see it down here. Lost 3200ths there, lost 3600ths there, lost another 2/10 there. So yeah, just a really tough bottom part for the racers, and they're not handling it well. And Robot is in 4th, 96/100ths of a second behind. So yeah, it seems like everybody's competitive right up there. Everybody's competitive up until sector 4. Yeah, the VPN, the video feed just keeps dying. Like I say, it could be two things. It could be the Austrians being particular about trying to shut down VPN feeds. It could just be traffic. I mean, you know, they're talking 30, 40,000 people or more in the finish line area. And then millions watching all over Europe right now. I know the US, it's 5:47 in the morning East Coast, 2:47 in the morning West Coast. So the US and Canada, probably not a lot of people awake and watching this right now. Okay, the race interval is 2:45. You can see the marquee scrolling up here, start interval 2:45. But Ryan Cochran-Siegler from the US is on his way, and he had an issue, a big issue, 12K down at the first speed trap. So I'm not sure what happened there, but he's already 7/10 off. Got it together again here in the second speed trap, but I'm expecting to see probably about a second behind by the time he gets down here. You know, 6/10. All right, he got it together. And he definitely, his speed traps are now pretty good. Third, he's 8/10 back, but this is it again. This sector 4 on, you can see people just losing time. Yeah, really tough. He hasn't had quite the season that he probably hoped for. Yeah, he's now 117 off. And when you get that far off in sector 5, what did he lose there? Another 3/10 there. It's not going to end well. 117 back. Will he end up somewhere in that 6th or 7th position? We'll find out shortly. 154. He has a chance now. 205. No, he's gone. He will end up last. There's just no way to make it back after you lose that much time. 213. Yeah, he ends up last by 9/100ths behind Stefan Babinski of Austria. So Ryan Cochran-Segrel in 8th. 8 people down, and it's going to start getting really interesting now because 9 to, let's say 9 to 15, 9 to 16, these are the favorites. This is going to probably be the ones who win if anybody can catch Franzoni. So, you know, he's got that 7/10 lead now, but the first guys, people choose, the best guys get to choose their start numbers. And clearly people thought that 10 to 15 range was going to be the best range. So we shall see now with these guys. Justin Muricier, we've got a race interrupted message here. So hang tight, guys. In the meanwhile, I'm going to work on the video feed because it's been cutting in and out. But yeah, race interrupted. So I don't know if there's just something going on with Muricier at the start or what was happening. But we've got a pause. We've got a race interruption from the race director. And you know, what we can do while we're waiting, let's go back and look at last year. 153.64, James Crawford. So how does that compare to this year? 152.31. So 1.3 seconds faster this year than last year. Alexis Monet was second, Cameron Alexander third, Daniel Hemmetsberger fourth, Mia Hrobat fifth, and we saw him in there. He's fourth right now, 153.27. Last year, 154.15. So I don't remember what the conditions were like last year. All right, the race interrupted message is gone. Let's see what we get here. Let's see if we can finally get back to racing. Yes, Muricier is started. Quarter of a second. Back at the first sector 1 time check. That's good for 5th. We've seen people in sectors 2 and 3 do well. And that's not the case for Muricier. He's now half a second behind already, 5 kilometers an hour down. These speed differentials after the second speed trap heading into sector 3 timing, it's really significant. All these sectors are about the same, 14, 16, 15, 12, 16, 16, and then at the end there are a couple of 10-second time checks, sector differentials or durations. So yeah, but yeah, he's losing so much time. You know, you lost 5 kilometers an hour and all of a sudden you go from half a second down to a second down to 1.3 down, 1.8 down. He's fallen apart. I doubt he'll finish anywhere other than last at this point. Unfortunate. You know, you start out, you have a okay first sector, 5th, and all of a sudden there's just nothing to be done. 224 down. Yeah, he will finish last. There's just no coming back from that. Everything is off. All the speeds are off. 5K off, 2.5K off, 3.5K off. And this one, the last speed check, 5K off again. So Justin Morisier, a really tough race, 1:55.16, almost 3 seconds back. That's just brutal. So we're going to one more time. This boy, they're really. I'm just wondering if it's just so much traffic to the site. Yeah, it's a VPN issue. It's a VPN issue. The Austrian broadcasting country definitely having their issues. So the differential between racers, 2:45, that is longer than the actual race by more than 45 seconds, which means two things. One, when you get to watch this later in the highlights, you will see the entire run for each racer at this point. At least the first 15, maybe even the first 30 are at that interval. Alexis Monet has started. And also, it's when there are issues, they don't want somebody starting and somebody's still on the course in case they crash out. Really difficult then to get that next guy to stop in time, ruins his race. So they're giving enough time, enough of a buffer here. So that's pretty cool. All right, Monet, pretty good through the first check, and then terrible speed at Speed Trap 1. Don't understand what's happening to the racers there. I don't know if the cloud cover warmed things up a little and we got a little bit of softer snow. That can happen, but boy, his speed checks are terrible. Speed Trap 2, 6 kilometers an hour behind. And now he's already 1.2. This is Alexis Monet. I mean, if you look at he was 5th in the downhill just last week. You know, this guy is seriously good, and he's just completely fallen apart. Almost a second and a half at Speed Trap at time check 4. So yeah, definitely people are not able to, you know, there was all this buildup, fast. We got cloud cover. I'm going to guess that's what's causing it. Slowed things down by probably a whole second. But again, what did Fransoni do differently? Besides being a badass right now and being maybe the top downhiller, the most dangerous and exciting downhiller right now. But what's he doing? Monet at the end, 1:45, got the fastest time, but 2:10 back puts him 8th out of 10. So you got this group of people, good guys, Rogantine, Babinski, Monet, Ryan Cochran-Siegel, 4 guys within 1/10 of a second, but 2 full seconds back of Giovanni Fransoni. You know, this could be his coming out party. If he's able to dominate the streif, you know, the hahnenkamm downhill like this. And we're going to find out soon, because Dominique Paris is next. We're going to look, remember, these are guys, and he has started. He is on his way. 6th last week in the downhill, 8th in the Super G yesterday. So let's see what Dominique Paris is able to do here. Going to keep working on the live feed here. They love showing me ads, but they don't like showing me the race. Dominique Paris has started 1800s back, the 4th fastest, sector 1 time, coming up to the first speed check, 5.5 kilometers an hour slower. Something is going on. Something is going on between sector 1 and sector 2. Now, Paris didn't lose a whole lot of time. He's still 1900s only back, so this is the best of the rest so far. And now in sector 3, we're going to get a really good, because this is where people started to lose it. 3.5 tenths, 36 100ths. He's lost another 1700ths, but that's not so bad. His speed is 1.6K slower than Fransoni. And he actually made up a little time. He made up 700ths. You can see down here. Fastest sector 4, 7 100ths ahead of Fransoni. A really short sector though, just under 12 seconds. 29 100ths back. This is looking good. 43. Okay, he's lost only another 1400s. But a lot of people just dropped off so hard after Sector 4, and he is still keeping it. Okay, so 1.8 kilometers an hour. That's not so bad. Half a second. He still has a chance for second, but second, third, fourth, it's going to be pretty tight here because it's 6,700s back for Sheeter. Hinterman at 71. Paris has lost it to a second. Will he still get Horvat? Horvat, 9,600s back. We'll see just a second here. Dominique Paris, 9,300s back, ends up fourth. Solid recovery there. Trying to get more of this. So many sectors here that I've got this scroll going on the window. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's just not going to show all the sectors, but got to scroll it. But yeah, Paris lost a lot in Sector 7. That was really his undoing. And then actually had the fastest Sector 8 to go with the fastest Sector 4. And that's what kept him in it. But still only good enough for fourth. Just 3/100ths of a second up on Mia Horvat. So, yeah. God bless the Austrians and their VPN hate. All we want to do is watch an exciting race. And they just can't let us do that. You know, it was on for a bit, and then it was off again. Yesterday, no problems at all. It was a Friday, people were working, you know. Odermatt, all right, let's not miss this. Odermatt, fastest first sector, 1/100th ahead of Franzoni. Let's see, his speed though, 11 kilometers an hour down. What on earth happened there? And yet he's faster? There must be something about the turn there, where they're taking that measurement. Little faster on Speed Trap 2. He's now 4/100ths up, so he lost 1200ths there at Sector 3. 2 kilometers an hour slower there. Still 2/100ths back. I've got a feedback, but it's freezing on me. I was hoping to see this. Odermatt 200ths up, going through into time check Sector 5. Let's see, down 1500ths, so he lost 1700ths of a second there. But you know Odermatt, he knows how to finish. Speed Trap 4, 2.5 kilometers an hour slower here. He's 1900ths. He's lost another 400ths. This could be Giovanni Franzoni's day. Odermatt is not. 1600ths. All right, Zielschuss, the final schuss at the end here. Odermatt with the fastest speed, 144.8 kilometers an hour. No, second place, 7/100ths back. Yeah, I'm getting error after error on the video feed, but that was exciting. 700. I mean, they were neck and neck the whole way. 100th up, 1500s up, 1200s down, 217, 4, 3, and 9. The sector times were so close for the two of them, so close. And yesterday it was Odermatt who won by 3/100ths of a second over Van Almen, and today it's Franzoni leading by 7/100ths. Franjo Van Almen next, second yesterday, as you see in the Super G, by 3/100ths of a second. Odermatt, and let's see, is he on the course? Like I said, we got that. It's about 53 seconds, 52 seconds in between when a racer is in to the finish line and the next one starts. So Nils Allegre, start number 1 yesterday, had a decent result. And he is on course, and he's fast. Van Almen is fast. He's up at the first check, 1500ths, 1200ths at the second check, 1600s. Very, very, very similar times to both Franzoni and Odermatt. Going through, his speeds only a little less than half a kilometer an hour off at the third speed trap, 2/10 up. Okay, Van Almen is definitely making a case. He is fastest through sector 4, coming into sector 5 now, just a 16-second sector. 600s, he lost 1400s to Franzoni there. And now we're going to come into the 4th speed check, and this is a critical one, 2.5 kilometers down. Don't know if that's going to be good enough to keep him in the lead. No, it's not. He's lost almost 3/10 in sector 5, which puts him now 2300s behind. He's going to have to really, really tuck it and go. Oh, wait, what happened? 1.5 seconds? Can that be right? Did he miss a gate? Did he pull up? Something happened, and I don't know what it was, but he is relegated to 8th, sector 7, 1.26 seconds. Something happened to Franjo van Almen in that last, second to last section there. I'm going to try to get the replay over here and see what happened, but that's disappointing. Let's see if there's any kind of, no, it's going to be too quick. We're not going to get. So Nils Allegre starting now. He is on course. And let's see, coming into the first time check. Yeah, Van Almen, man, he had it. He really had it right up until sector 5. All right, moving along here. Nils Allegre only 4 kilometers an hour slower, and he is up. He is up 1400s at sector 2 timing, and his speed is right there. Only 0.2 kilometers an hour behind Franzoni there. So a great race, and he's still up. He lost 800s, but he's still up 600s through sector 3. Coming into speed trap 3, again, only half a kilometer. He's 500s down. He lost 1100s. You'll be able to see that down here. He lost 1100s in the sector 4. 500s down. Next check, sector 5, 2900s. Yeah, he's lost a quarter of a second from sector 4 to sector 5. That's rough. So still trying to figure out what happened to Van Almen here before to lose a half a second in one sector there. Yeah, the Austrians are not having fun with me today with the VPN. People are asking on the feed, hey, everybody on the feed, everybody's trying to find a stream. VPN into Austria if you can. And then here is the URL, sport.orf.at. If you go there with the VPN, try your luck. That's what I'm doing on my second screen here. Yeah, it's tough. Nils Allegre, a heck of a race. 4th place now, missed on the podium at this point by 1/100th behind Florian Schieder of Italy. So we've got through 14 guys. We're almost done with the first group. Vincent Kriechmeier, the local hero, is going to start in about 10 seconds. But we've got Italy 1st and 3rd. Franzoni is 1st. Odermatt 700s back. Florian Schieder rounding out the podium from Italy, 6,700s behind. It's a 2-man show today. Only 2 people who are really able to keep up the pace. Kriechmeier has started. This is going to be the big one for the Austrian fans. him and Hemmetsberger next at number 16. And Kriechmeyer 1600ths back, 4 kilometers off the speed pace. I wonder if people are just taking such a different line that it's affecting the speed trap so much up at that the first trap. Kriechmeyer 1500ths back, so he actually gained a 100th of a second going through sector 2. Speed is good at the second trap. And we're going to see here in a second if that's translated. Nope, 3900ths. He's lost a quarter of a second. Third speed trap, 2 kilometers back at 101.07. So Kriechmeyer sliding down. Probably not going to even make a podium now. He's now 5700ths back through the 4th sector. Didn't lose that much, but there were a lot of people faster. You can see the ranks here. You know, 11th, 12th, and 13th. You're not going to make up much time if you're getting those kinds of ranks through that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th sector. 74 100ths. If he can keep that up, he has an outside chance at 6th. Only 1 kilometer slower there. Oh, all of a sudden he's a second down. Wow, a half a second loss between sector 3 and sector 5. Brutal, brutal. Something's going on there. Van Almen had a big problem. Kriechmeyer's now had a big problem. He's not even going to finish in the top 10, I don't think. 148, okay, he squeezed into 9th. 800ths behind Cassé. Remember how we thought Cassé had such a terrible run when he was the first one out, and it was so much slower than Franzoni? He's still 8th after 15 people. He's right in the middle of that first pack. Yeah, big differentials. It's a two-man race. It's a two-man race, and there really aren't a lot of guys in here who are podium candidates anymore. Hemmetsberger for sure. Cameron Alexander and James Crawford. Not such a great day yesterday, but they are downhill specialists. As we saw last year, James Crawford first here. Cameron Alexander third here. Hemmetsberger fourth here. Those are 3 of the next 4 guys. So it ain't over. It's looking good for Franzoni to get his first hahnenkamm victory. Come on, be nice. Let's get that VPN going again. I got ads again. But I don't have the feed yet. All right, guys. Hemmetsberger next. We've got a TV break, of course. 15 racers, there's a TV break. Hopefully we'll get our feed. No, we're not getting our feedback. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the VPN, start it again, and see what I can do to try to get some visuals. You know, we had some fun there for a bit with seeing some of the celebrities. Arnold Schwarzenegger there, Laurent Mecky's there. Bunch of celebrities always come out for this. All right, I've completely shut down my... No, I don't want that. There we go. All right, NordVPN. Going to... All right. TV timeout still going on. No, Hemmetsberger on his way. 3 through sector 2, only 800ths back, but now we'll see only 5 100ths of a kilometer slower. So Hemmetsberger having a great run so far. 12 100ths back through sector 3. A little slower, almost 2K slower through the 3rd speed trap. 2600ths. He's on pace for third at this point. And now we're going to see this sector 4, sector 5, where guys are just getting hammered and losing so much time. We're going to see it now. It's about a 16, 17 second sector. Hemmetsberger coming in now to that DNF. Oh dear, what on earth happened? Hemmetsberger missed a gate. He's upright. I'm on the ORF feed here. He's skiing down. He missed a gate somehow. Unfortunate. So yeah, last year's 4th place finisher, Daniel Hemmetsberger of Austria, the first DNF of the day between sector 4 and sector 5. Oh, he did fall. He actually caught an edge coming around a tight right turn here, got turned around, landed hard on his right side, but like these guys often do, was upright again in a matter of seconds. You know, sometimes they get that really extreme side roll, hit hard, and boom. And of course, instead of showing the crash, they're now showing some celebrities coming over and saying hi to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Number 17, Bryce Bennett, very tall American, good downhill racer. Looking to see, where did he finish last year? I don't see him in last year's. Oh, here he was, only 29th last year. Not a great race. Already 3/10 back through sector 2. Yeah, unfortunate. I do have live feed now. I'm watching Bryce Bennett. Saw that 27 seconds, so we're good. We're a good 15 to 20 seconds delayed on the video feed versus live. So the timing, I wish they would delay the timing at the same amount that they delay the TV video feed. So I've got a solid, strong feed now. So again, if you guys are watching and you want to know, get on your NordVPN, get to sport.orf.at. It's in the chat window right now. I put it in the chat window, and you will be able to see the race. I'm getting a strong feed now on that. I'm here in Valencia, Spain. I have a 600 megabit connection, so solid connection. The VPN, of course, eats up a lot of that. I'm only getting about 150 with the VPN going. Bryce Bennett losing time, hand over fist. He's over 2 seconds down at the final time check, and he is slotted in almost last, second last, 15th out of 16. Hemmetsberger, of course, with the DNF, he was the 17th. Unfortunately, yeah, there's a good 25-second delay between the video feed and between the timing and the video feed. So yeah, watching Bryce Bennett, everything looked clean. Jumps were solid. He's a big guy, so his tuck is not as incredible as some of the other guys. But yeah, overall, not a really great weekend for him. Didn't do great yesterday, didn't do great today. They're showing a repeat. He's got those really nice stars and stripe ski suit on, waving to the crowd there. Oakley glasses, Red Bull bibs. Giovanni Franzoni is so excited. He's a 24-year-old kid. He's got the little white nose tape on. He's got his blue Italian national team clothing on, and he's pumped. He's like, oh yeah, because I don't think anybody else. Oh, James Crawford, Cameron Alexander on course, and he's right there. He is right there. He is only 500ths off through check 4. Sorry, I've been watching a little. I'm just getting delayed here. 500ths off, coming into sector 5 here. This is going to be the really telling one where Franzoni really, stepped up. Alexander lost 4/10 between sectors 4 and 5. Like everybody else today, except Odermatt, nobody can touch what Franzoni did in that section 4, 5, 6 coming down after the second half. A lot of people doing great until then, and then all of a sudden gone. And now another half second between 5 and 6, sectors 5 and 6. Another almost a third of a second between 6 and 7. And all of a sudden, he goes from being third to being 10th. The lower part of the course is eating people up. And now I'm going to watch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the timing here. And then when I'm done, I'll be able to tell you what I saw, where they had issues. It's all really cool, by the way. The drones that they're using for the ORF, which is the Austrian National Television Service, are incredible. They are able to fly at over 100 kilometers an hour and POV follow these racers. So Cameron Alexander was right there, 1400s back, 500s back through sector 4, and then 4 to 5. Yeah, I can see here on a heavy right turn, problems started. James Crawford, 500s back through sector 1, is now on course, and now he's up. Sector 2, James Crawford, and like we said last year, he won this. He is now a quarter of a second up through sector 2. His speed, 1 kilometer back at speed trap 2. This is good. We're going to watch here now very carefully. 1400s back. He lost almost 4/10 there going through sector 3. 3K slower through the third speed trap. And now he lost again. He's lost another quarter of a second. What is going on from sectors 3 to 4 to 5? I'm watching now because he's going to be coming into that in a second. Crawford coming in 6900s. He's not even going to be top 5 at this point because 3rd, 4th, and 5th are at 67, 68, and 7100s back, and he's at 69. He's not going to get faster. His speed's pretty good through the 4th speed trap, but this is now. There we go, 1.8, another half second. I can't believe what I'm seeing here on this lower half of the race. Crawford now 140 back. Remember, this guy was up a quarter of a second. And now 4K slower at the bottom. Unreal. Again, I'm watching, seeing that drone. You know, the course goes like this, and the drone is just zooming right behind, maybe 10, 15 meters behind, 10, 15 meters up in the air, and following them. Oh yeah, he had some bad wiggles coming through that S series of S curves, right ski flapping all around. In the end, 12th place, 1.65 back. You have to think that from speed check 2 or sector 2 to the finish, he lost 1.9 seconds. That's just brutal, man. 12th place. 12th place. Unreal. You know, more celebrities being shown that I don't recognize. I'm not a socialite. I don't know who these people are. But it's fun. It's fun to see. The Austrians a bit down because this is not what they were hoping for. Vincent Kriechmeier only 9th. He's the best Austrian out there right now, and that's just not what they expect. They expect podiums, and they're not getting podiums, and that's just brutal. You know, the Austrians want that. Okay, Seierstad had a great day yesterday until a really spectacular jump sent him flying. Our start interval has gone down. I've got to stay on this now. Seierstad 4400s through sector 4, and then almost half a second lost again between sectors 4 and sectors 5. What Franzoni and Odermatt did from sector 4 onward is what really separated them from everybody else today. Unreal. Yeah, Seierstad Adrian Smizeth Sejersted, 1 second back now through the 6th sector time. They're just losing 140, another 4th tenth. I mean, yesterday they were talking about how the piste was the best it's been in years. Sejersted 163 behind in 12th, ends up just 200ths ahead of James Crawford. Brody Seeger, Canada next. I'm trying to think. All right, Christoph Innerhofer, start number 24. People to watch. When you go down here and you look at Christoph Innerhofer, 41 years old, okay? And he finished 10th yesterday. 10th in Wengen last week, and 21st in the Super G last week in Wengen. So 2 10th places in the last week, 1 in Super G and 1 in the downhill. And he's 41, so start number 24. Don't miss him. And Nils Alfand, son of legendary Luke Alfand, right behind him. So 24 and 25 are definitely going to be good. We've got a great run going from Brody Seeger here. Brody Seeger is up in first, 600ths through time check 2, but lost 1/3 of a second in between 2 and 3. He's now 2,900ths back, but this is still pretty amazing. Speed a little off again, almost 4K per hour slower, and lost another 1/3 of a second. So it's like compounding. He was up 600ths, lost 1/3 of a second, now lost another 1/3 of a second. It's incredible. It is incredible what Franzoni and Odermatt did compared to the rest of the field from sector 3 on. Brody's still doing great. He's 7,900ths back. Top 10 finish for him would be incredible. But again, losing almost half a second from sector 5 to 6. I was just starting to say that they were yelling and screaming and hollering about how amazing the piste was, the track was yesterday, and now it seems like maybe because of the clouds and the temperature difference that the snow is just not that good, that it's too soft. Maybe it's getting carved up too much around the gates, and guys are hitting grooves and getting slowed down. Because Brody Seeger, again, he was in first after 31 seconds, and now he lost over almost 2 seconds from there to the finish, and he's only 14th. It's just brutal, man. Elian Leto of Finland is started. He's on the course, and coming up to the first time check, and we're going to see in just a second. You can always see here who's on course, who's on deck, and this is the previous racer. So Leto only 900s back at the first sector, quite a bit slower at the second one, and we're going to see here now in just a second, it's about 17 seconds, 4 tenths. So he lost 3 tenths, 3,100ths between sector 1 and sector 2. And we all know how this is going to go. Leto is going to start getting handed down through the ranks. 7th fastest here, 12th fastest here, 17th fastest here. A lot of guys still had a chance between sector 2 and sector 3. But yeah, and now he's a half second down. He's not losing as quickly as some of the other guys. The question is, you know, what happens now after 4? Because after 4 is where everybody just fell apart. And this is what we're seeing right here. He's still 52, so 40, 48, 52. It's respectable. And now 3,500's lost in that one sector. Yeah, the next speed trap coming up here. Leto, 11th. Only 2 kilometers an hour down, but there. Another 3 tenths. And all of a sudden you go from being 40, 48, 52, keeping it pretty consistent, and all of a sudden you're 1.5 seconds back. A whole second lost in 44 seconds. That's just nuts. Pretty good speed. 7th fastest on the last speed check on that Schuss, going down going down the hill, and watching here on the side, I'm seeing him. Oh yeah, he came through the Red Bull. There's like an arch, a rainbow balloon arch at about 1 minute 25 seconds as they come through that arch and over jump. And he almost lost it there, so I could see where he lost a lot of time in this section right here. He ends up 156 back, 11th. Not as bad as some people. When you look at Van Almen, and we're going to have to really go back and see what happened to him, because he was rock solid. Look at that. He was right there. Van Almen was so good. Yeah, click. This is the FIS, live.fis-ski.com. It's the live timing. When you click on a name, you get all the details. Giovanni Franzoni is acting like a small child. He is so excited, and it's wonderful to see, because a lot of times you see these guys just like, yeah, I'm badass, I'm so fast, look at me. You know, he can't control himself. He's like shaking. He can't believe that he's standing in front of, you know, poised to win the biggest race of his life, to win the streif, the hahnenkamm downhill here in Kitzbühel. So we've got a commercial break. So we can go back and look again here at Franjo van Almen, who was fastest through the first check, still ahead after the second check, still ahead after the third and the fourth and the fifth. And then he lost a little bit, and he was still right there. Would have been podium, would have been third with that differential of 0.23. And then from 6 to 7, he lost 1.26 seconds. Right? You can see that differential there, the 21st worst time. So I don't know what happened there. It was something dramatic. And you can see the red and green. This is interesting. This is this little, I was a little faster. I was a little slower. I was a lot slower. Look at how big that red bar is. So they got that little graphic built in, and you might not know right away. But basically, this is a bar graph representation of the differential that you have to the leader. So you're first, so you've got green. You're still first, you've got green, 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 all the way down, and all of a sudden you get a little red, and then something unreal happens, and you get full red. All right, we are back. Alessio Migiano looking really good, 3/100ths back, faster than Franzoni through that check, still only 300ths back. Swiss Alessio Migiano, only 300ths back after the third sector timing. Good speed, 7/100ths. We've got something brewing here. We've got a definite podium candidate, and he looks good. He's got a really tight tuck. 7/100ths back, and now this is where it always happens. From 4 to 5. We're going to see in just a second. Wait for this number here to change. 6. He lost 6/10. He lost 6/10 in 17 seconds. How does that happen? I'm going to try to see what that is from 59 here. Yeah, he goes around that right-hander into the left-hander. It took him a little wide, but not that much. Now he's a second down. And again, tight turn. Nothing looks bad. It's got to be snow conditions. He looked perfectly fine. And right here, he lost 6/10, and now another 4/10, and another 4/10. I think the slope is broken. I think the snow is broken. You don't get guys this good losing this much time this quickly. And he's in 15th, 173. This is a guy who, for the first minute, more than half of the race, was basically tied, 7/100ths of a second with the lead, right up there with Odermatt, who finished 7/100ths back, and completely gone. Loses 1.6 seconds, 1.66 seconds in the last 55 seconds. That's unreal. Migiano, right here you can see, you know, right there, 100 back, 300 back, 300 back, 700s back, and all of a sudden 6/10 in one shot, and then 4/10, 4/10, 3/10. Game over. Game over. Unbelievable. Niels Alfon, no, Christoph Innerhofer. I was telling you guys, the 41-year-old, he's on the track, fastest, tied for fastest through the first sector, 1900s, coming up, speed a little slow, but we're going to see here, 4100s. Now he's already losing time there, unfortunately. I mean, it looks great. He's looking good, but yeah, speed okay, half a second. Look, if anybody could at least keep half a second, they'd be in third. But again, we're going to watch it now. We're going to watch from 56. What do you think? 9/10 back. Is he going to lose 3 more tenths? I hate to say it, but I think the slope, yeah, he lost half a second in 17 seconds. Pro skiers don't do that. You know, something definitely happened here, I think, with the snow. Because that's just brutal, man. And now another 4/10. You see, it's just, it's unreal. They're not doing anything different. He looks solid. You know, no mistakes, no flailing, good tuck, you know, good line, right up against the gates every time. 144 on the last speed trap, which is faster than Franzoni. And look at 1.9 seconds, 16th. Again, a second and a half lost in the last 55 seconds of race time. It's unreal. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've seen in the women's side where Michaela Schifrin will dominate so much that she's, you know, a second or 2 seconds ahead in a giant slalom or slalom. She's just in a class of her own in slalom. It's unbelievable. But to see these guys, yeah, head shaking. Christoph Innerhofer, you know, he's just shaking his head. And I'm seeing, it almost looks like the snow that's getting kicked up at the bottom half is a little bit more gray, darker gray, maybe a little wetter. Maybe they had just warmth. You can see in the background, if you watch the ORF live thing via VPN, or if you're in Austria, Servus, ihr schaut sie im Fernsehen zu. Little German there for my people. So on the snow, you lose a bit everywhere. You have to be clean. You have to cut. You have to cut. This is what they are telling Niels Alfond. And it's over for him after just three sector times. He had a decent first sector, then lost almost half a second in the second sector, up to over a second by the third, 1.3 by the fourth. So Niels Alfond, who we saw yesterday, had a really nice 13th finish, 13th place finish. Again, his dad, Luc Alfond, an amazing racer. Oh yeah, he had a really bad entry into the brook, this glide part, the Schuss, right after the Brückenschuss and the Schuss, this glide part. He came in badly, skis kind of wobbling, and when you do that, you lose all your speed and your ability to do the glide for that 10-12 seconds. And you can lose a lot of time there, and he did. So no mystery with Alfond. He lost it up top. What's freaking me out is what happened. Oh, he DNF'd after sector 6 into sector 7 through the Red Bull rainbow thing, and oh yeah, he came out of there so hot that he went wide right, missed the gate, and he's upright, just finishing these last few seconds. He's DNF. Yeah, so there's that jump through the Red Bull arch of balloons, and you can see that he came down so hot out of that. He was actually laying down on his left side, left hand out, right arm up, and just trying to avoid oh, there's his dad. There's Luc Alfond. You can see his dad, a nice little gray goatee. I like that. I got one of those. You know, great skier from, 20 something years ago. Won a lot. Franzoni, double fist pumping the crowd, having such a great time, knowing that really Nobody's going to be able to take this away from him now. Marco Kohler on course, having a great ride through Sector 3, up 7/100ths in first. But this is what we've been watching, right? Super start, and now he's lost 2/10ths. But this is better than most. This is a guy with a chance at a podium if he keeps this up. So he's only 1400ths back through Sector 4. Marco Kohler looking really, really sharp. Did a nice job on that gliding part there. I could see that over here. 3 more tenths lost. What do you get if you keep it within a second? 8th. If you can keep it within a second, you're 8th. Decent speed coming into the 4th speed trap. 6800ths. He's still right there. 6800ths gets you 4th. 67 gets you 3rd. If he finishes super strong, this is podium. Oh, DNF. Something happened going into Sector 7. And now I'm watching it because we got the 15-second delay, 20-second delay. He's a minute 26 in. Kind of clipped the gate there, but not too bad. Through the Red Bull thing again. This is where, yeah, exact same thing. The exact same thing where Nils Alfont just a second ago lost it. They come through that Red Bull arch, and they come through so hot, and there's no grip. And it drives them out to the right, and they can't make that next gate. Watching it here, he's coming in, and he's on his ass. He's on his ass, but still going forward. And just can't make that next gate. The orange gate with the Boss logo on it. And he's just outside of it. Oy! His teammates going, oy! Dude was 6800s back. He was, I mean, he would have lost more. Everybody's losing more. But if he had finished under a second, he could have been 7th, 6th, 7th, or 8th. You know, because Dominique Paris, 9300 back in 6th. Mia Robot, 9600s back in 7th. And then there's a half-second gap between 7th and 8th to Mattia Cassé. Cassé, with number 1, is looking like the quiet genius here for taking number 1. Maybe they knew something about the snow conditions. Maybe their techs were better. Lars Rösti, on course, number 27, and he is already 7/10ths back at time check 3 and 4, 7300ths. And then he lost 8/10ths between sectors 4 and 5. So again, just no chance. Coming into the speed trap 4, 2 kilometers an hour down, which isn't terrible. But 2 seconds back now. I mean, this section here from 4 to 5 to 6 to 7. Look at him. He's losing half a second per sector. He's going to be, I think he's going to be dead last. 313? Yeah. Ends up in last place. Lars Rösti. And again, if we click and look at it, you see the differentials. Normal, okay, not great, good, very good, and then 8/10ths in 17 seconds. 6/10ths, 7/10ths, 2 more tenths. You go from being the 8th best to 26th in 17 seconds. This is the race right here, from 4 to 5, and we've seen it for a bunch of guys who still looked. Like yesterday, we had guys with start number 55. You see some of these guys here. You see Alban Elezi Canaferina. I think he finished like 13th yesterday. Alio did well yesterday. Blaise Giesendanner did well yesterday from really, really late numbers. All right. Romet Baumann, racing for Germany, born in Austria, St. Johann in Tyrol. 7/10ths back already. So, you know, not much going on there. The Italians sitting in the chair, you know, Franzoni sitting there, enjoying himself very, very much. Florian Schieder in third. So we're going to have 2 Italians on the podium if it stays this way. Baumann 9/10 back at sector 4, and now we're going to see massive jumps again. The jumps were small, and 6/10. Sector 4 to sector 5. This has been the race today. You know, sector 4 to sector 5. Giovanni first, Odermatt 5th, and then sector 6, 1st and 2nd, and then sector 7, 2nd and 1st. So these guys dominated this section here. Franzoni and Odermatt, 3 number 1s from sector 4, 5, 6, and 7. So just amazing what they did. Baumann in to the finish, 2.64 seconds back, 23rd place. Adrien Théot used to be very, very good. He's Moussaton also in the past has had some great results. Raphael Hazer, worth watching. Bosca, I think was start number 2 yesterday, got shuffled down through there. Jan Zabistran was, I think, start number 3, bib 3 yesterday. I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit longer. Got a hard stop in about 20 minutes. Hopefully we will see somebody break the top 10 again. Maxence Moussaton from France, 1/10 back at the first check, coming into the second check now. Going to see this switch. Oh wow, fastest time with the highest speed, 115 kilometers an hour for Moussaton. He is 4/10 almost up on Franzoni going through sector 2. So the top of the course is still good. 4/10 up, he's gaining. This could be a shocker, and he's looking good. He's looking super powerful. I'm just watching over here. He's a half a second up, and this will be it again. Sector 4, half a second up. What happens now? This is where he's taking a different line. He's taking a super aggressive line. Sector 5, how much does he lose? Lost only 1600ths. Oh, Franzoni's got to be pissing in his pants right now. This is unbelievable. Moussaton, with start number 29, is up almost 4/10. Speed is pretty good through the 4th speed trap. 3/100ths up. He is still in first after 6 sector, but he's lost half a second in the last 2 sectors, so what we've been seeing. But he just had such a big advantage. 3/10 down. He still has a chance for the podium. Still has a chance for third. This could be incredibly exciting. Third, 3900ths back. Unbelievable. A big scare for Franzoni and Odermatt. And of course, in that moment, the feed gets cut. That's just great, you know? That's what you always want. Just when you're watching and thinking, oh, I'm going to see this incredible run from a late starter, Moussaton in the lead. Look at this. Let's open it up. Third place with bib 29. He was up all the way right here. He was still 5400s up, 3800s up, still 3/100ths up. And he lost 4/10 from sector 6 time to the finish here in the last 21 seconds. He lost 4/10, but good enough for third. And this pushes Florian Schieder off the podium. And he was just celebrating with Franzoni. You know, they were pulling off the skin tight ski suits, laughing, yucking it up. And now, no podium. That's got to be a big letdown for Schieder. It wasn't even close though. He really split the third, second and fourth. Moussaton solidly in third, quite a distance from Odermatt in second, but still significantly 2800ths ahead. What a great race from Maxence Moussaton. I wonder if he, look, 7th last year. Let's not forget, you know, this isn't really a fluke. He just hasn't been doing great this year, and because of that, he starts with bib 29. You start with bib 29, you don't get the best conditions on the slope. Adrien Théot from France is a DNS, did not start. So next up will be Raphael Hasser. I don't know if they'll move him up. Yeah, looks like he's coming out of the start house now. Trying to get this video to load. Again, it's just this VPN issue. All right, Hasser, 2/10 down through the first check. Pretty slow on the first speed trap. Not going to be his day. I'm just going to tell you that. Oh, wait, I spoke too soon. 6/100s up through the second sector. Only 1 kilometer. Boy, that first speed trap, I got to say, doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. We've seen that. The second one, a little bit more. He was 6/100s in the green through sector 2, 2300s back now, half a second back now through sector 4. So he's still losing, but it's not a bad race. Now we have to see if he has huge jumps in his differential here. He's half a second back through 4. We've seen big differentials going from 4 to 5, even though Moussaton only lost 1600s. Hasser lost 2700s. 77, if he stays under a second, it's still top 10. It would be the best Austrian finisher. So a little slower, almost 3K slower there. 1:16, yeah. He lost 4/10 right there between 5 and 6. And unfortunately, this is what we're seeing. Guys who have a decent run going, and now another 4/10. So 4/10 from 5 to 6, 4/10 from 6 to 7. And your race is basically over. You're not going to make it into the top 10. 186 kilometers an hour, 1.86 kilometers an hour slower through that last speed trap, and in 154.0, which gets him 16th. And you can just see it here. 4/10 slower, 4/10 slower. You lose 8/10 right there, a whole second right there, and it just doesn't end. But he was so good through 1 and 2. He had green. Guglielmo Bosca, now on the track, it's going fast now. The interval went from 2:45 to 2:20 to 1 minute and 30 seconds. So they are not waiting for the previous racer to finish now. Bosca, we saw early yesterday, holding his own, half a second back through 4, and there we go, 4/10 down. It's, other than Moussaton, everybody's getting crushed there. So I'd love to go back and watch the full run of Moussaton to see exactly what he did differently. Did he take such a different line in that sector 4, 5 to be able to stay with the leaders and get to where he is now on the podium with bib 29? Yeah, look at the bib numbers. 2:12 Odermatt, 29 with Moussaton, then 6:14, 4, 11, 7, 1. So all low guys, low start numbers. Rogentin and Babinski both had big issues through sector 6. They did something funky there. Yeah, we've got 2 guys on course at the same time now, so we're getting lots and lots of updates on this live timing thing. Bosca in 25th, 2.5 seconds back. You can see that now over here. Yep, 2:45 down. Livio Hildbrandt from Sweden. Bosca wiped out after crossing the finish line, but he's okay. Really great shot there of him coming around the Hausberg Kante, that edge when they have to do that diagonal traverse before the final schuss into the finish line, and just getting that really tight lean. It's a traverse. You're going across right to left. First interviews now with Franzoni, and he's giddy. He's absolutely giddy. Let's see if I can listen in just a little bit here. He's saying so super excited for the race. Yeah, the Austrians are doing a real-time translation that's kind of making it hard to hear what he's saying. But yeah, Franzoni looks like he's going to get his first Kitzbühel win. Super, super exciting for him. Did we see him last year? Yeah, last year he was 14th. So, I mean, it's not like he's a rookie. He's 24 years old. He's been doing this for a couple of years now, but he's putting it all together this year. Hildbrand in 29th, 3:24 back. That puts him dead last. Felix Monsen on course, doing pretty well so far. Monsen is still up at sector 4. I'm sorry, we're going to have to take the sound off on that guy. Franzoni, we'll go back and watch your winner's interview later. But yeah, Monsen through sector 5, only 2/10 back. We've got something brewing here for another very high finish. Oh, and now he lost 4/10. Where? Between 5 and 6. Where else? Where everybody's losing 4/10 at least. And now another 4/10 to 7, 1 second back. Still gonna be a fairly decent. He could still end up 9th. Monsen from Sweden, Felix Monsen, is he gonna get 9th? Yes, 9th. 1:26 back. A nice run from Felix Monsen coming over the, I'm watching now the delay. It's over 20 seconds now, the delay. And he's coming down the traverse. 141.7 kilometers an hour was his top speed, as you can see here. And he's going to be stoked. He's going to be stoked for 9th. But they switched back to the interview with Franzoni now. Zabistran on course, lost a lot of time early, very slow up top, and already well over a second. Watching the replay of Felix Monsen here, and he is so excited. Bib 34 to come in and finish 9th. That's pretty good because he pushed Kriechmeier, Vincent Kriechmeier of Austria, out of the top 10 now. The Austrians on their home course in Kitzbühel, no podium, no top 10. Unless something crazy happens now in the back end. I'm trying to see who's the next Austrian racer. Stefan Rieser with 44, Andreas Pleuer at 47, Manuel Treininger at 53. Yeah, I just don't see any chance here. We may see later, you know, if you go back and look at the full results later, you may see some people with high bibs getting into the top 15 or 20, but I really don't know if anybody now. I mean, Monsen did just get 9th. But got to hand it to him. That's pretty incredible. I don't know, was he even in the race last year? He was 22nd last year. So Monsen goes from 22nd last year to 9th this year. He's going to be thrilled with that. Blaise Giesendanner did really well yesterday. He's only 3/10 back after sector 3, 4/10 back after sector 4. So again, if you can finish within a second, you're going to be in the top 9. We'll have to see what he can do here. He had a really great run going yesterday. Okay, what did he lose? 4/10. It's like a broken record with me here, right? Marco Odermatt interview going on right now. I mean, we've got the basically the top 3. I don't know how anybody is gonna, you know, work their way into the top 3 now. Giesendanner lost a lot of time now. 1:15 by sector 6. Meanwhile, Wiley Maple of the US already on course. Giesendanner lost another 4/10. So everything we've been seeing from everybody except Felix Monsen and Maxence Moussaton Really, really struggling. Giesendanner, 15th. Nothing to shake a stick at. He's going to get good World Cup points. 15th at Kitzbühel. Pretty darn good. We'll take it. I'm sure he's going to go home happy with all those points as well. Looking down, who's next? We got Wiley Maple is on course. He's doing great. 1600s back only, 2700s back through sector 4. And, you know, is it going to jump to 0.7 now? Is kind of what we've seen from almost everybody. The 4/10 lost right here. So let's see what this switches to. 79, yeah, 5/10. Lost half a second right there. Yeah, actually the feed delay is now 1 minute and 15 seconds at least. So this is not great. Wiley Maple, 7900s. That was fine until now. 123. He's losing. He had a couple of nice things going on here. 5th fastest time, 2nd fastest time there. You know, he had some top 15 results, but now he's losing hand over fist again, coming down the final schuss, and he is in 15th. Okay, Wiley Maple held it together at the end, only lost a quarter of a second from 6th sector to the finish. And he pushes Giesendanner, who we just talked about being so happy about finishing 15th at start number bib 36. Now Wiley Maple with bib 37 has moved in. You can see the differential between bib number and finishing place. 22 spots better than your bib. Monsen 25 spots better than the bib, and Moussaton 26 spots better than the bib number. And in a race like this, a super difficult downhill, almost 2 minutes long, really, really burning those quads. That's a pretty darn good improvement. Jeffrey Reed of Canada on course now, not doing that great. He's already lost over a second. All right, guys, I'm going to have to go now. Most of what we've seen is going to be the way it ends. If you can follow the live timing, I'm going to put this into the description of the video afterwards. So if you go into the video there and look, you will be able to watch that. I can put it in the chat now as well. Here you go. Thanks so much for watching. I saw we were up to like 50 concurrent users at one point, still at 19. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate that. We're coming up to the Olympics. So here's the big takeaway. Make sure, stick with the channel, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be covering all of the major skiing events at the Olympics starting 2 weeks from this morning. Olympic downhill. Mark your calendars, February 7th in the morning. Olympic downhill from Italy, Milan, Cortina, Bormio, all these places. If you look at my channel, you'll see I did a full preview of the Olympic venues and events. So check that out. And yeah, we'll see you next time. But yeah, for right now, our top 3, our podium, and pretty sure that's the way it's going to end. Giovanni Franzoni in first by 7/100ths of a second over Marco Odermatt. Marco Odermatt, who won yesterday, ends up with first and second for the weekend, Friday, Saturday. Tomorrow's a slalom. I'm not going to be in town, so I'm not going to be able to cover that tomorrow. But Franzoni wins by 7/100ths over Odermatt. And then upstart Maxence Moussaton, upstart, strong word, finished 7th last year, ends up in 3rd with a high bib number of 29, and definitely a heck of a race from him. Pushed Florian Schieder down to 4th by enough that he's not going to be too upset. Nils Allegre 5th, Niels Hintermann 6th, Dominique Paris. The Italians did great, 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th. So Hroba in 8th. Monsen with his high bib number 34 finishing 9th. He's going to be stoked. And Mattia Cassé with start number 1, start number 1, rounds out the top 10. Best Austrian for the home crowd, only 11th in Vincent Kriechmeier. So big disappointment for the Austrians, and that's about it. All right, take care, guys. See you soon. More videos to come during the week, and live streaming Olympics starting 2 weeks from today. Take care.